Alrighty guys, we're back for some Carnage, and this is a Phyrexia all will be one standard brew. We're going to go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, for anyone who may not know, I'm Red Cat and I play aggro decks and any decks with red in them as well, so I hope that sounds fun to you. Also, we do get that Discord link down in the description if you're interested in joining that up. Okay, what do we got in here? This one's based around Drivnod, Carnage, Dominus. Now this is a 5-mana, 8/3 legendary creature. If a creature dying causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. Yeah, just if any creature dying causes that triggered ability. So what do we got in here to work with that, huh? Oh, there's also a bottom ability here for a 2 black Phyrexian mana. Exile 3 creature cards from your graveyard. Put an indestructible counter on Drivnod, so that's pretty sweet, huh? Yeah, so what do we got in here to work with that top ability? Well, we got 4 Cacophony Scamps here. This is a 1 mana 1/1, and when it dies, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. Then when it deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice it. If you do, proliferate, so that might come in handy. It also might not. You have a planeswalker to go over, so yeah, maybe we can proliferate onto a planeswalker or two. What else do we got in here? Transmogrant Crown works with that Drivnod. This is a 2 mana artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+0. Whenever equipped creature dies, draw a card. Nice. This is going to pair beautifully with the Cacophony Scamp, huh? We have the Balduvian Berserkers. It's a 3 mana 1/3 with Enlist. And whenever it dies, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. Yeah, pretty much the same ability as the Cacophony Scamp, but it has that Enlist on here. So can you imagine enlisting the Drivnod to give this +8 power? And then maybe sacrificing the Berserker and then using that Drivnod ability? That sounds awesome. Holy cow, huh? We also have Archfiend of Dross here. This is a 4 mana 6/6 flying. When it enters the battlefield, it gets 4 oil counters. At the beginning of your upkeep, remove an oil counter from Archfiend. Then, if it has no oil counters on it, you lose the game. So hopefully you're winning before that, right? Or sacrificing it before, before all the oil's gone. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, its controller loses 2 life. So there you go, another death trigger for the Drivnod. Pretty cool, huh? So how are we killing our own creatures if we have to? Well, got 4 Annihilating Glares here. This is a 1 mana sorcery. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you may pay 4 or sacrifice an artifact or creature. Cool. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. This seems pretty good, guys, honestly. Now, this could also be, where is it? Eaten Alive here. This is a 1 mana sorcery. It does pretty much the same thing, except it exiles creature or planeswalker. However, you can't sacrifice an artifact for Eaten Alive, and I think it's going to be quite useful to be able to sacrifice an artifact instead of one of our creatures if we have to, because, you know, Transmogrant Crown, but then also we have a couple sticky fingers too to produce some treasure, help us ramp, and then we can use that treasure for the Annihilating Glare. So yeah. Now, how else are we getting rid of our creatures? Well, we have the exploit ability on Fellstinger. And if we're doing a lot of extra damage to the opponent throughout the game anyways, this can actually help us wrap up that game. We've wrapped up plenty of games with Fellstinger's ability, actually, which is pretty cool, huh? And then, of course, if we need to draw off of Fellstinger, it is a great way to replenish our hand as well. Ob Nixilis has that top ability with Casualty X. So that way you get a copy of the Ob Nixilis, right? So that's just another way to go ahead and sacrifice our own creatures. And this is the main reason I'm rocking a couple Tenacious Underdogs in here too, because it's just a wonderful 2-drop to get out before your turn 3 Ob Nixilis, right? We also have the Pyrrhic Blast. This is a 4 mana instant speed that obviously I've never played with before. This reminds me, guys, the Berserker and the Blast here was actually a suggestion down in the comments. It was a few weeks ago, actually, but then just recently it was brought up again, so I wanted to make sure to put this list together. So thank you for the suggestion. This is a 4-mana instant speed. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature, and then it deals damage equal to the sacrificed creature's power to any target. So that could be pretty great with the Berserker. And then you also get to draw a card off of this too, which is interesting. But hopefully you're just wrapping up the game with the Blast, and that extra card draw probably won't even come into play. But yeah, if you enlist like the Berserker with the Archfiend or something, then you could use that Blast after a swing with the Berserker and just wrap up the game that way, which sounds awesome. On the top end here, guys, we do have a burn down the house because just a basic board wipe is pretty important, but then also the devils work well. I kind of forgot to go over the devils here. Yeah, when they die, you deal that 1 damage, so that also works with the Drivnod. All over the place, huh? We got some more early removal here with Sheoldred's Edict. Let's not forget that this can also hit Planeswalkers, have the opponent sacrifice them, which is awesome. Anything else to go over? Yeah, we're rocking all the dual land in here. I don't know how necessary it is to play all the dual land in decks like this yet. I really don't know, but I feel like it kind of is, especially how I've been drawing with my 2-color decks. It's crazy, guys. I'm having better luck with 5-color decks with my mana base, so hopefully, hopefully this works, huh? Couple of these are an abandoned mire, so hopefully that doesn't get in the way at all, but this could be a great way to get extra creatures into the grave for the bottom ability on the Carnage Dominus. A bunch of honorable mentions here, guys. I really considered Jadar for this deck. Vran was in here at one point. I opted for the Tenacious Underdog. Maybe that's a mistake. Liliana, I thought about a little bit. This could be a great way when you're discarding to get the creatures into the grave for the Drivnod's bottom ability, but gotta be real with you, I'm not convinced that the bottom ability is going to come into play too often, but we'll see, right? I mean, giving something indestructible is pretty powerful, so. Fable of the Mirror and Sheoldred, if you really just want this to be a more competitive Rakdos build, just wait for me to put together a more competitive Rakdos build, right? Because, like, yeah, obviously these would be very good in here. Atsushi and Junji, I really considered for this because of their death abilities, right? And then Kethik and Garna were considered as well, but did not make the cut because, boy oh boy, there's a lot of cards packed in here, huh? Also, 25 land total. I don't think we're going to have any issues actually getting to our top end, especially when we're ramping with Sticky Fingers as well. So we'll see, huh? Let's go ahead, take this into some ranked and see how we do. All right, we'll see if we can get right into that first match here today. Heck yeah, we do. Let's go. It's been pretty good, guys. It's been less than 10 seconds for pretty much every match. At least the ones that I'm paying attention. Because, like, you know, I like to talk about the previous game whenever I'm loading into the next one, so sometimes I just completely lose track. See, I don't like this hand very much, but I also don't think it's a mulligan. I think it's just like an alright hand that we should try, you know what I mean? Might as well go Haunted Ridge here. Now we could have played Swamp, made them think we had a cut down available, but nice, nice. Oh, buff it for sure. Nice. I love Fuseling so much. I was just telling somebody down in the comments that Fuseling's like my favorite new card from the set. Alright, Sheoldred's Edict is available, and Fuseling just buffs each other. Seeing another 3-drop off the top was particularly bad when we have plenty of other things to draw, but that's okay. They swing. No reason not to take the 3 here, I would say. Because either way, we'll take 3 and... Alright. Alright, we'll non-token creature. So they get rid of this Fuseling here. So yeah, either way, we would have taken the 3, so I think it was alright to wait there. See, the Crown would have been perfect to play last turn. Just get it down onto the board and ready. So I think we'll go Berserker because it blocks well. However, Ob Nixilis and the -2 also blocks pretty well. Either way, Berserker might end up being picked up by a lightning strike here, so it sure is a lightning strike. So if we would have played Ob Nixilis, dropped the -2, it's a good hit for us though, let's be real. Bloated Contaminator. Oh, this is Gruul. Okay, Gruul Oil. This could be an uphill battle. Uh-oh, now we see the Blackcleave Cliffs. A lot of extra mana. That touch on the Fellstinger is just so good, isn't it? So good. Probably play the Fellstinger. I really don't want to get Ob Nixilis down until we can actually copy it. I wouldn't mind drawing here too, but Contaminator is big. If they waste like another lightning strike on our creature, that could be pretty good for us. Oh my goodness, Gruul is probably gonna run us over here. So if we take out the Contaminator, get 2 through. Yeah, we should take this out. This is a problem because they can give this menace. Everything's a problem right now, guys. The starting hand was bad. The draws have been pretty bad too. So we'll see, huh? They get an extra oil counter here. Okay, Tenacious Underdog. Okay. So if we play Crucible, we can get Underdog down. Then we can sacrifice it for the casualty on the Ob Nixilis. Wouldn't mind getting Crown onto the Underdog. They give this Menace. They could buff it pretty good. Sorry, opponent. There's actually not too much to think about, so I have no great excuse here for not playing a little bit faster. Then we want to play Crucible because the Cliffs comes out tapped. And then I think I am going to go Crown. Equip for the black mana. Like, if we get the Tenacious Underdog to 5, they might spend all their mana on just a big swing with Maze Crusher. Then we can sacrifice the 5 power Tenacious Underdog, draw a card, get an extra chunky Ob Nixilis onto the board. It's a little bit of a greedier play, but I do like this. Go ahead and equip that. Yeah, the Menace is scary, but we'll see what they end up doing here. I don't think they have 13 damage with the Maze Crusher. This is activate only as a sorcery, so I guess this ability was being held up here. You know what they could do? Okay, they are going for the swing. I was going to say they could use the bottom ability here to destroy target artifact or enchantment, which is a little scary. Archfiend is terrific. Oh, man. Yeah, another Bloated Contaminator has Trample. I'd love to find some removal here. So I think we're going to go for the draw. Archfiend is a demon, which I forgot to mention works with the Ob Nixilis. Maybe it is the Archfiend. The Menace here is pretty bad, though. Okay, alright, let's stick to the original plan. Archfiend's a terrific draw, but let's stick to that original plan. Because we can always get removal here off the draw. Oh, yeah, kind of, sort of removal, huh? Kind of, sort of. Gonna equip the crown here. So let's go with getting a devil down. Getting a devil down. Because we're gonna need to double block the Maze Crusher and let the other 4 go through. Oh, we're just in trouble, aren't we?
Oh, I have a job for you.
Okay. Okay, how's everything looking? Maybe they'll swing at Ob Nixilis, take some pressure off of our face. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see, huh? Yeah, the trample on Contaminator, the menace on the Maze Crusher, another facade. But it's an oil counter on Contaminator. Oh, nice! Cool. Good game, opponent. That was pretty sweet. Oh, wait. Yeah, they have enough mana to buff it, right? So let's just hit face because we can't do enough here. Yep, cool. Top end, man. Can't complain too much. It's good to see Gruul win a game here. I guess we could have seen... No. Our 1 mana card is a sorcery. Oh! They spent their mana. Oh, they missed lethal with the Crusher. Could have spent, right? 2 mana, remove 2 oil counters. Gets +2/+2. And then that was 10 damage to our face. Well, I still don't think we're going to be able to get around this. The Ravager is terrifying. Okay, a lot of extra oil. Cacophony Scamp, nice. So, we definitely needed to see some removal here. So if we go... I'm trying to think if there's any way, because we could get Cacophony Scamp down, equip the crown, and then go for the blast. And that does 3 damage, then another 3 with the Scamp. So these are just too large. Could take out one of them if we do that. Then we get a draw on the crown, which we might find removal, but we might not. Sorry, opponent. You know what? Let's do it. I think we're dead either way. I think the Archfiend plus on the Ob Nixilis would be the safer bet. However, this is pretty cool. And so now we go... We'll have 1 mana available. And we draw off the blast, too. So let's hit the Maze Crusher here, right? Sacrifice the Scamp, and then we'll hit the Maze Crusher with the Scamp's ability too. So we're drawing 2 cards. So technically, we could find removal for the Ravager. Well, I mean, 2 cards, man. And we have 4 of our 1-drop removals in here. We sacrifice the crown, get rid of the Ravager, Contaminator hits for 4, and we might actually get an extra turn, which is pretty neat, man. It's pretty neat. It's just too bad that we're not cleaning up smaller creatures. Like, everything in this Gruul deck is huge, right? So, well, except for the Fuselings, we'd be able to clean those up nicely. Bit of an awkward, bit of a slow first game, but I do like that, like, the deck is coming together a little bit to do some pretty cool combos. Yeah, we didn't find the removal, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and plus the Ob Nixilis here because we can't do the -2. And we will give the Ravager sticky fingers. Hey, good game, opponent. Good game. Technically, since they had lethal... Did I drop the good game or did I just say the good game? I don't remember right now. Yeah, technically, since they had lethal on board last turn, we shouldn't have had like that extra turn to play around and find more removal anyways, but I mean, it was possible if we saw it and they only had 4 damage next turn, then we get the Archfiend down, then maybe we could start gaining life off of... Yeah, there was stuff we could have done there. I guess, again, like I always say, I apologize, guys. You know, one of these days, I'm just going to pack enough removal into my decks, and then I won't have to keep bringing it up, but more removal, I know, and everyone's seeing, like, a different meta as far as I can tell. Oh, wow, hey, I talk about it not taking 20 seconds anymore. The second match, I apologize, guys. You know, at some point, maybe I should start editing those out, too. Let me know down in the comments. In the past, you guys have told me that you like that I just go straight through and just keep chatting the whole time. Annihilating Glare is actually in hand, so that's good. I like this hand. We just don't have a third mana. But we have 25 land in the deck total, so... Start with the swamp. Shattered Sanctum, huh? Alright, let's get that Underdog down in preparation for actually drawing our third mana here, and then we'll go right into Ob Nixilis and get the ball rolling. Harvester, nice. No third mana, but, I mean, this is probably going to happen either way, huh? They're probably just going to take out... Probably going to happen either way. But I'll let them decide if they actually want to take out the Underdog, because I'd rather equip Crown to it, especially if we don't see our third mana next turn. Missing mana is rough. It's a great reason to have 25 land in a deck like this, for sure. Blood Tithe number 2. Yep, Underdog is out of here. Maybe we could have cheesed the 3 through, but I'm pretty sure they would have just blocked last turn anyways, so I thought maybe... Oh no, guys. Oh no. Annihilating Glare isn't even instant, so I don't think we sacrifice our crown just for the sake of getting rid of Harvester here. Oh no. What's going on, man? Come on, let's see that third mana next turn. Missing a land drop 2 turns in a row is disheartening a little bit, but that's okay. We can get there. Mardu. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, jeez. Sheoldred's Edict. They get rid of Harvester. They're going to start gaining life on the Archangel. At least the Edict we can actually keep open. I know, guys. I could have mulliganed, but is this a mulligan hand? I don't know. I don't think so. I think seeing 2 mana, having 25 total in here, and actually having a couple plays, too, I think that was perfectly fine. Perfectly keepable. Each opponent sacrifices non-token creature. We've had opponents play the wrong side of Sheoldred's Edict on us before, so I make sure to double check, read it again to make sure. Oh no, guys. Oh no. Alright. I guess we get rid of Archangel and just for the sake of doing something, I guess, right? I think this is fine. Now we could have waited until they get something bigger, but this is the kind of deck that runs the Sanctuary Warden on the top end too, which of course gets shield counters, which doesn't work beautifully with the destroy effect here, which is one of the reasons why maybe the exile effect on the other card would be better, but then we wouldn't be able to sacrifice the artifact for the Transmogrant Crown either, so I don't know. I get the question sometimes, why do I play these ones out too? We're testing the deck. This is kind of what we're doing on the channel, right? Kind of playing them out, seeing if the deck is actually capable of drawing a third mana, and then in the final thoughts, of course, we talk about it and say like, oh, we actually need 26 mana or something like that. So if I end up cutting all the videos or all the games like this, then it would be a little odd me talking about it like, oh yeah, we need 26, but then all the games we drew beautifully, you know what I mean? So I do like keeping them in, but that is why there are chapters at the bottom of the video, so you can always skip ahead. Feel free, absolutely skip around the video, check out the other games. Oh, you could always just skip right ahead to the final thoughts too if you're thinking about crafting the deck for yourself, because the final thoughts are often very important, where I kind of talk about what is going on here. Is the opponent okay? Are you all right over there, opponent? Buddy? I mean, I don't know what's going on. I feel like they spilt their chocolate milk, guys, all over their keyboard. All over their keyboard. They're really struggling, but they're trying their... Hey, Sanctuary Warden, nice. Yeah, this is This is some Mardu Angels, man. Third mana. Let's go. The opponent has a Sanctuary Warden. Let's get the Berserker down before the Ob Nixilis. We actually might have a chance of doubling the Ob Nixilis with casualty on the Berserker if they don't have removal here. So, doubling down on the Ob Nixilis, that could be really good. A full cast on the Steel Seraph. Any new cards for Angels, guys? I can't think of any right now. For Mardu Angels, Atraxa's an Angel, right? A beautiful blocker in the air. We could also swing with Berserker here, but then we die next turn, so... Yeah, actually, the Enlist doesn't work. The Archfiend would need haste. Why did it give me, like, an option for the Enlist? Like, you know how it was, like, lighting up there? As this creature attacks, you may tap a non-attacking creature you control without summoning sickness. Yeah, it was like giving me like the little light up option there. You know what, opponent, good game, buddy. I know I didn't do much, but it's cool to see Angels, you know? And I doubt that this had the Atraxa in it because, yeah, didn't really match the colors there, did it? So, all right, let's get into the next one and potentially mulligan if we have only 2 mana in our starting hand. We'll have to think about that more. Another great reason to keep those in the video as well, right? Where we can talk about future strategies with a build like this. 3 mana, okay. Okay, hear me out, guys. This is the best hand of the evening, hands down. This is not a mulligan hand by any means. Now, there's no removal in here, but, I mean, come on. I mean, this is the one, right? This is the one. Oh my goodness. Okay, we got some soldiers. Let's go Haunted Ridge for no particular reason. Just mainly because we don't have a 1-drop, I guess. Uh-oh, Azorius soldiers too. Means we probably know what their 3-drop is, but hopefully it's not going to be like a Brutal Cathar, just pick up Underdog right away. Because I really think we need to copy the Ob Nixilis, get some 1/1s down to clean up these. Hopefully they don't just buff their wide board state too. Skystrike Officer isn't too bad. Oh, Annihilating Glare is what we drew last turn. That's great for us, guys. We risk the block into Frontliner. I don't see soldiers rocking combat tricks too often. Taking 3 from the officer is fine. I guess what it could be, since it's Azorius, is it could be that 1 flash creature that comes down, bounces a soldier back to hand, and then they get like a counter. Yeah, we risk the block into Frontliner. The odds of a combat trick is very low. Nice. Oh, wow, nothing. Well, we have seen these soldier builds run counter spells in the past. It would really suck to lose one of the obs, but since the casualty's happening and either way. All right. Let's do this. Underdog is sacrificed. It might still be that flash creature too. There's actually 2 flash soldiers that could be an Azorius soldiers. They might be going wide here with some 1/1s as well.
Just obedience.
Speaking of going wide with 1/1s, let's do this, huh? Both of these are going to be a -2. Even though gaining life off of Ob Nixilis is great, we have Ob Nixilis number 2 in hand right now. Yeah, Resolute Reinforcements go wide a little bit, but then these Devils are pretty dangerous, so they want to buff this wide board state. Frontliners coming back. Oh, wow. This is like the first time in a while where soldiers I'm seeing doesn't have too much here. They want to hit all of this, huh? Buff recruitment officer. Guess we'll block recruitment. That one's swinging down here. That one's... Wait, these two are swinging at bottom. We'll let those go through. We'll take care of these ones, right? We'll keep the token on the board. And then we clean up a lot here, guys. We clean up a lot. Take out the officer. Take out the 1/1, and Frontliner's about to get exiled. Now we can play a slower game here since, yeah, soldiers doesn't look like they're drawing too well. Another Haunted Ridge, that is completely fine. Get Archfiend down first because it's a demon. Get some life. All right. I don't know, man. Brutal Cathar takes the demon, but I mean, we can always get... Wow, another Ob Nixilis. Wow. I mean, I'll take it, dude. That's great. Can go -2 on the Ob Nixilis here. Sacrifice our 1/1. Annihilating Glare Cathar. Get the Archfiend back. And then... Could sacrifice the Archfiend. We could. I kind of like that. It's crazy. Crazy enough for me to try it. So we sacrifice a creature. Target you. Pay the 1. This is crazy how much we have to go through for this card. I guess it makes sense though. Thar's out of here. Archfiend comes back. We could just keep this too. We could draw on the underdog. Kind of want to sacrifice it to the Ob. Could just play the Ob out too. Now let's blitz the underdog back. I changed my mind. That actually lets us get the 3 through, so I guess we could have swung first, see if they blocked, which they would not have, right? They would have taken the 3 regardless. We would have drawn before any of that, so... No, the draw would have happened at the end. I'm crazy, guys. I'm crazy. Carbon, nice. Have to be careful with the Fiend, but at least we'll actually get, like, a swing here. And then we'll ditch it to the Ob, right? I don't see, like, a great reason to not have a gigantic Ob Nixilis on the board. And Felstinger might be able to help us clean this up, too. We just go underdog again. We have a couple turns with the Archfiend. We can get there. Let's get that swing. And then Annihilating Glare. Sacrifice the underdog. Annihilating Glare... Pretty good, man. It's good to draw our removal every now and then, huh? We just did our Atraxa. Sacrifice an artifact or creature. You gotta target the creature. Then you target the sacrifice. Draw a card off of the underdog. Resolute Reinforcements. So they could, like, double buff this board, but, like... Oh yeah, they take the 2 from the Archfiend because their creature died too. Mire, that's GG, man. The Archfiend just swings in and wins the game. GG opponent. Wow, taking out soldiers. I feel like they got pretty unlucky. I mean, they still had all the cards that soldiers usually have, but they kind of like... It was like... played out in a slower manner, so that kind of tells me like they drew things a little bit too late there for sure, huh? Especially when you're going up against a mid-range build like this. Generally speaking, we would normally be just completely sweating against soldiers and hoping to draw our top-end board wipe, which, of course, yeah, Burn Down the House would have done a lot in a matchup like that too, if we didn't see anything else. Man, I shouldn't have brought up that the games were taking less than 10 seconds. I shouldn't have brought it up, guys. Now it's taken too long. Yeah, this is a mulligan. We'll go ahead and send this. Not only is it just not enough mana for what's in hand, but there's no black source, so... Okay, we'll keep this, and 25 land in here, guys. 25 land. Call me crazy, but I'm gonna ditch the mountain. I think we'll see it. I think, you know, the second game was very unlucky not seeing the mana. Okay, there we go. There we go. We got our mountain back. Some Grixis. Reckoner Bankbuster, okay. Okay, Swamp is fine. We have Sheoldred's Edict open for a non-token or Planeswalker, so see what they end up doing here. I think Grixis runs like Liliana sometimes. That could be a cool one to hit. It's gonna be Fable. We probably want to take that out. No ramp for them. Sacrifices a creature token. So if it's like the basic Grixis, they definitely aren't close to enough black sources for their top end. So, uh-oh, more mana. Okay, well, let's just go ahead and get Fellstinger down. Be able to block the Bankbuster if they crew that up. Death Touch is terrific. We could draw off of Fellstinger too. That could be pretty good. Help us keep up against the Bankbuster. Huh. You know what? I kind of like that. Let's draw. Since we only drew mana so far, I think this could go a long way. Getting Fellstinger. Oh my goodness, it's more mana. Oh no, guys. So Abandoned Mire could be pretty good here. Being able to get a creature or Planeswalker back. So bringing back Fellstinger, draw more potentially, right? Guys, what's going on? Oh man. Okay, Ob Nixilis, nice. Okay, so Archfiend probably immediately gets removed. Go for the Throat is everywhere. That doesn't mean we don't try it though, right? I mean, running into even a Make Disappear, we could eventually bring it back with the Abandoned Mire. Yep. Woohoo! Hits the board. Now, is it going to be spot removal? I get so excited when a card doesn't get countered. I feel like the games have been really tough. And yeah, I think we did get lucky against the soldier builds too. And we got some uphill battles, man. Okay, Reflection is active, and yeah, if this is normal Grixis, man, they are not seeing their black sources. It might be a different kind of Grixis, though. Blood Tithe Harvester? Sure. Okay, this could be an interesting last game, guys. This could go either way, especially if this is an Invoke Despair style deck. Scamp is good. Double down on the Ob now. But I think we're just going to keep the Abandoned Mire open and get the Scamp down as a blocker. How do you guys feel about that? Bring back the Archfiend to our hand. And turn. Yeah, there's so many like little combos going on in the deck that it's shocking that we haven't been able to see more of it. Xander's Lounge, there's their second black source on the board. They need 2 more for Invoke Despair. Maybe they're getting unlucky with their land and they were banking on some treasure too. Powers up the Bankbuster, they have Reflection available. They don't want to copy Bankbuster though. Like if they played... I mean, they could have copied Harvester to swing with that, I guess. Alright, let's keep our Scamp on the board and take the 4 here. having an extra creature in a deck that likes to sacrifice creatures could be pretty important, I would say. Alright, Abandoned Mire. They have so much mana open and 4 cards in hand. Okay, Underdog's in the grave. Let's... I mean, honestly, the Fellstinger might be better here. It does end up blocking the Bankbuster. They take anything out with the Harvester Reflection combo. Oh no, an Annihilating Glare hit the grave off of the Mire. The Archfiend blocks so well too, but I would love to get a draw with the Fellstingers. And this just gets spot removed too. Let's get a draw with the Fellstinger. Yeah, more land makes sense to me. Let's go ahead. Before we play anything out, we start with Fellstinger draw, right? I guess we could try to cheese the Scamp through, and if they end up blocking, we take out Reflection. Just don't know what's in hand. I'd rather just go for the Fellstinger and make sure we can actually get the draw from the sacrifice Scamp and not sacrifice itself, if that makes sense. Because it could be a cut down here too. For either of these. Sacrifice a creature, Scamp. Keep the Fellstinger around for a second. We'll go ahead and deal 1 damage to their face, 2 damage to our face, and see what we see, man. This Fellstinger has helped us see a lot of extra cards so far, which is awesome. Yeah, keeping up with other mid-range builds is super important. Okay, another Mountain, that's fine. Everything's fine, guys. So, could go Ob Nixilis now. Probably ends up dying pretty easily here, though. Let's go Crown. Equip the Crown. And now's their time to do the cut down. Okay, there it is. Okay, well, Crown hits the board, and we have so much mana. I'm glad for these legendary land, and I'm going to be very sad when these rotate out, but I'm sure they'll give us some other kind of utility land to work with in decks like this, you know? So today we've seen a Flood, and we saw a Mana Screw as well, so I don't know where I land. More testing's going to be required, I suppose. And this Flood isn't too bad, since we have, like, ways to draw more, and we'll probably be done drawing land for a couple turns here. I bet we'll start seeing just cards off the top now. Copy Harvester, get a blood token. So they kept all that just for blockers, I guess? Because they could have done that on their turn, got an extra swing, or a safe swing with a token, so that way their normal Harvester didn't get gobbled up from the Scamp. So the greedy play with trying to get Crown onto Fellstinger was a little bit worse than just attempting the casualty on the Ob Nixilis, right? Oh, that's right. Yeah, you can do the whole reflection right at the end because of how this is worded. I always forget about that. Yeah, sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. So if you do it like at the end of the opponent's turn, it sticks around. I literally always forget about that. Oh, we are going to be super dead here if we don't find something. On their third black source, this looks like basic Grixis, probably rocking the Invoke Despair, so they got a little unlucky with their mana here. That's what it feels like, at least. Oh no, we didn't see Drivnod today, guys. Oh man. Darn it. Well, if I had extra time, I would try to keep going until I saw Drivnod and then tack a match onto the end. Fortunately, I do not have the time, guys. Hey, maybe we'll draw a Drivnod right now. If the opponent lets us draw. There we go. Oh, Sheoldred's Edict is actually pretty terrific. Any removal, man. Tenacious Underdog just isn't going to be coming back. Banded Mire is available. Non-token creature. Let's see what they do here. We do this on our turn while the reflection is tapped out because you don't want to actually give them that ability to use the reflection. They draw on the Bank Buster. And we could go Crucible for some chump blockers to try to survive next turn. We could go Ob Nixilis -2, equip the Crown. Keeping the reflection around tells me that they probably have a creature in hand that they would love to copy. I think we're just dead, guys. I don't think there's much to do here. We're gonna try the Crucible block, and we do it on their turn, so that way they don't think they have to overcompensate by swinging with extra creatures, and maybe they'll only swing with 2 creatures instead of 3. That's the plan. If we can survive an extra turn, I'm not convinced it'll matter, because then when the Invoke Despair does drop, it cleans up the rest of our life total regardless. That's right, they can search for it too. Brotherhood's End. Okay. Let's see more of the deck. Abrade, yep, makes sense. I think they are searching for that Invoke Despair here. But you never know. They might just be swinging in. We drop Crucible and be happy about it. Nope, Invoke Despair. So, I mean, the best thing we could have done there then would have been Ob Nixilis -2. We would have taken 2 damage from the Invoke Despair still though, so. But we wouldn't have died to the Invoke Despair. They would have had to swing in, but then we would have died, right? Well, the 1/1 would have been able to take out this. Yeah, no, we still would have died because they had the reflection still. Wow, hey, GG opponents, man. Today was brutal. The draws were particularly bad, I would say, overall. I think the deck is more than capable of drawing better than what we saw. Like, it was pretty awkward. A lot of the hands were really awkward. Like, you would have thought we had, like, 23 drops in this deck, but no, actually, we only have the 9 3-drops here. And between the Glare and the Edict, it's not enough removal, surprisingly. Like, Scamp helps you ping those smaller enemies, right? We had the top end of Burn Down the House that we just didn't get to see today, unfortunately. That would have been pretty good against that Grixis build. Cleaning up that reflection and everything would have been awesome, huh? So you might want to consider 4 Burn Down the House depending on what you're going up against. But if you're drawing mana like I've been drawing mana, if you do go up that burn, then you might want 26 land here too, right? So we didn't get to see Blast do too much except try our dandiest to survive against the Gruul deck that had too many big creatures, man. We were doing so many cool things with like 3 damage from Scamp, 3 damage from Blast, but we couldn't like hit multiple creatures because those creatures were just way too chunky. Didn't get to see anything cool with Berserker, and we didn't get to see Carnage Dominus either. So I'll tell you what, man, if you guys end up trying out the deck or anything, let me know how it goes down in the comments. This is definitely one that you don't want to craft. If you don't have these cards, I wouldn't craft it. Like, more testing's required. Sometimes you'll just put together a deck, right? And it just draws so well, and everything just functions so beautifully. And then you have to question, oh man, did I just get lucky the entire video? Or do we have like a really nicely pieced together deck? Sometimes you draw so poorly that you're like, oh man, did I just get unlucky? Or is it something that I did with the deck, right? Is it the curve? Or is it as simple as going up a mana? I think in that last game, we kind of saw it wouldn't be as simple as going up a mana, right? Because you can still flood out every other game. And when you are, you're desperate. And you saw how desperate we were trying to draw extra cards with the Fellstinger, trying to see as much of a removal as possible. We drew so much, I am actually shocked we didn't see the Burn Down the House, because this could have done a lot either way. Even if we just had to slam the Devils onto the board, getting extra chump blockers onto that board state would have been huge for us, right? I think just always expecting spot removal for Archfiend is exactly what you gotta do, right? Like immediately after we played Archfiend, even in the game we won, got picked up by Brutal Cathar, right? And luckily, Brutal Cathar is pretty easy to kill, and we actually saw our Annihilating Glare there too, so we got it back pretty fast, and then that helped us win. But then when we got Archfiend down in the last game, of course, right away, go for the throat. So it's a powerful 4-drop, but you have to anticipate that removal immediately. And then even when it's not getting removed, there's going to be a lot of instances where your opponent just keeps open a couple extra mana and you got to constantly be playing around Make Disappears and everything else like that. What are you guys seeing in the meta? Let me know down in the comments. It's been all over the place for me. All over the place. I really don't know what to build against, as yesterday's Atraxa video, or this would have been Sunday's Atraxa video. I record in advance, so if it ever sounds weird, that's why. I record days in advance sometimes. Anyways, the Atraxa video, we saw just amazing aggro decks just completely run us down. But then in the videos before that, I was seeing these huge, like, mid-range Dimir with poison, and then of course mono black mid-range too, and that was like 2 weeks straight. So let me know down in the comments, what's the meta looking like for you guys? It has been everywhere for me, which might be a sign of a healthier meta, maybe? I don't know, honestly. Either way, hey, enough rambling, huh? This was a fun deck overall, but I'm gonna have to return to it with something else, some other configuration to see if we can just draw better too. And of course, when you are trying to like use combos with like Blast and Berserker, you are taking away a part of the competitiveness where, you know, maybe it should have just been Sheoldred, Fable of the Mirror Breaker, and then be happy about getting a big old chunky Archfiend down, right? Instead of trying to combo. But if you are, you're taking away part of the spirit of the deck when you do that too. But hey, either way, guys, if you made it this far into the video, then y'all are champions for real. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.